Toronto City Hall has passed its first budget under the leadership of Mayor Olivia Chow, including $20 million more for Toronto Police and a 9.5% property tax hike for homeowners. And joining us now to break it all down and getting the morning after reaction is CityNews City Hall reporter Mark McAllister. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in,
No problem.
especially after a long day yesterday. Long day, and the 9.5% tax hike was the big headline
Yes.
throughout. And was it debated as much as you thought in the end?
I think in the end, the sticker shock may have worn off after the 10.5% threat at the beginning of January. So I think everybody had kind of reached a point where it was something that was going to happen anyway. Obviously, you're going to find people at City Council that don't necessarily agree with the idea, but others had come around and said, okay, it's time to invest in some city services. That's where it ended up being. So it took the day to debate the overall budget, but at that point we knew that was going to be the price to pay. Now the question becomes what happens as a result of that, and it's up to Mayor Olivia Chow to say, okay, we've got the money. Now we have to put it into the services that I've promised all along.
Right, and a lot of people wanting to see that result and those services improved as soon as possible. They want to see that payment, show up somehow.
As is always the case, we want to make sure that we see the evidence as soon as possible, for sure.
Right, and then the big headline that came out just, a couple of days ago, day before the budget was set to be officially voted on, was the money to police. Olivia Chow even coming here to BT saying that, the police are getting more money. They're not getting a cut. It is just $8 million less than what they had asked for. And that's all we can spare. We need that money for elsewhere. The reaction to that then being given to police, the full request.
Yes, and there's a lot of Chow supporters that have come out and said, we didn't want this, and things have somehow changed in the last couple of days. You're right, it happened last second. She has said that it's because money was found from other levels of government and funds in the reserves, and so she ended up getting money to the police. A lot of people are accusing her of caving. What we heard yesterday was a lot about collaboration from Shelley Carroll, the budget chief, from some of her supporters on council as well, including Deputy Mayor Amber Morley, saying this was all about coming together and trying to figure out a way to make it happen. As soon as it passed on the council floor yesterday, Chief Demkew was in attendance yesterday, was answering all the questions that everyone had about what's going to happen with this money. He too spoke about leadership and collaboration. Everybody was on the same page. Everybody had smiles on their face. The big question yesterday afterwards was, okay, how are you going to prove that you're going to be bringing down the response times from the 22 minutes you've been talking about all along? What's going to happen to the new recruits that you've been talking about needing in order to make sure that the force is in full effect? So, again, it all comes back to show us the proof behind where this money is going and make sure that that happens. What Chief Demkew also referenced as well was a multi-year hiring plan and the ability to make sure that those response times comes down. It may take time. So he was giving himself a little bit of an out, and that's why we're probably going to come back to this a year from now.
A year, I was just going to say, in a year from now, when we get that police request once again,
Yep.
We're going to have this exact same
And it's happened year after year after year.
Yeah.
We've seen it, especially in years past when we've seen the defund the police campaigns. People did not want to see this funding go, and once again, we're seeing it. Now it's just a matter of Toronto Police being able to deliver.
All right, and there were some smaller notes as well that were added to the budget that we didn't think were going to be included, like the snow is coming on is coming this afternoon.
Yes.
So like the windrow clearing and so on, things that the money was found in the end. Can you tell us about some of those?
Yeah, there was a little bit of money. The way the mayor's budget now works is that it's presented the last couple of years, including John Tory. There's a little bit left over for council to debate. As you mentioned, the snow windrow clearing, the end of driveways that people can't necessarily get to, ended up getting $4 million in the end. There was talk about more bylaw officers to get out there and enforce some of the bylaws. So that ended up getting more money. We know a couple more officers are going to be hired in the end on that. So some of those things came through. again, we want to see some of those things in action. You never know with the weather coming this afternoon. People might need that snow cleared at the end of their driveways.
Yeah, today. All right. Mark, thank you so much for joining us.
My
I know we have
pleasure.
a long day and then another long day ahead with reaction to this as
The
well.
question is, what happens next?
Right, exactly. All right. Thank you very much. 7:40 here on BT. We're going to take a look at that snow that is on the way. We